me and hear me, let me know if you can. So thumbs up or just say hello. I'm Christianne. We're going to get started soon. I know people are coming on little by little. So we'll wait for everyone to settle in. You can turn on your cameras if you'd like, or you can leave them off as you'd like. How is everyone today? I'm here in Miami Beach, so you can see beautiful Miami Beach behind me, the ocean. Good afternoon. Well, let's get started, and we'll just sort of let everyone trickle in as they're coming in. So welcome. We're going to do an eco-friendly Christmas, and we're going to separate it into 3 parts. We're going to start with a champagne cocktail, because who doesn't love a champagne cocktail? And then we're going to move on to making homemade cranberry sauce, and a few little tips and tricks that I do for Christmas time that makes me feel Christmassy. So there's a word that's being thrown around a lot, hygge, higo, in Danish, that it's being very popular now, but it is from, my mom is from Denmark, so it's something that she has instilled in me as a child. So it just means to feel warm and to feel cozy and to feel at home. And it's almost like a hug. So it feels a little bit like a hug. So that's what I'm trying to incorporate today. So let's start with the champagne cocktail. So during the holidays, we make cranberry sauce. So cranberry sauce is essentially this little seasonal fruit that's a little bit bitter, and in order to make it nice and sweet, we add some sugar, and we'll do the recipe a little bit later. But let's pop the bubbly, shall we? So I got some pink, nice pink bubbly. We are going to I'm wearing my Christmas pajamas, and I encourage everyone to do the same, to go put on their Christmas pajamas and their warm socks. I can't open. So just so you know, what I do with the how I make my cocktail is that I add the cranberries at the bottom. These are fresh cranberries. They haven't been cooked yet. So what I like to do is that I just kind of like to give them a little squeeze. So you see, you just kind of pop them. And that's it. You just with a little bit of the squeeze, it's enough to give you that cocktail. And ready, everyone? Merry Christmas! Woo! Let's get this live started, shall we? So I like to serve bubbly champagne, sparkling wine in big wine glasses, or not so big, but bigger wine glasses. That way it has an open mouth, and the sparkling wine gets to breathe a little. People always focused on the wine a lot, and that the wine needs to breathe. But in fact, champagne also needs a little bit of air. So I've been to a few dinners with Moët Chandon. I affiliated with them a few years ago, and the chefs always said that it was better to have an open glass versus the smaller flutes. Just the flutes are more convenient, especially for Christmas parties. But anyways, cheers. Cheers to a beautiful 2021, to today. That is an amazing day today. December 21st is actually, the planets have not been this way for 800 years. So it's a perfect day to manifest and to ask the universe, ask God, ask whoever you believe yourself to move forward and propel yourself to those dreams that you're looking for. So cheers to that. Mm. Mm. Now it's going to be an even better live. So I am going to make the cranberry sauce, as I said. So we're going to get started on the cranberry sauce. That way it takes about 10 minutes. And with cranberries, you don't want to overburst cranberries because then you just get a really hot mess. So you want to make sure it's only 10 minutes. So come with me. I'm going to my garden to get, I have some sweet mint that I want to add. And so you can see a little bit of Miami Beach. I'm actually going to bring you guys with me. So here's my little garden, Miami Beach, welcome. So I'm just going to cut a few. I like to garnish at the end of all my plates with fresh herbs. It really gives it, you know, that homemade touch, but it also smells really nice. I wish there was a smell button. But so we're gonna take these inside. And then also I have all sorts of gift wrap. So this year I'm doing gift wrap with some velvet fabric that I found. So I don't like to use paper. So this year I have all sorts of projects out here. As you can see, you just get fabric, you fold it in half, and then you just have to sort of sew. If you have a sewing machine, of course, that's better. But if not, you can do it by hand, and I'll show you inside how I did it. But let's grab the herbs. Isn't it beautiful out today? It's beautiful Miami Beach. Let's go inside. So welcome back. Now you see how I get my herbs from the garden. And that's for later for the kitchen. But I wanted to show you before, a little bit before we went over to make the cranberries, a few ideas, like I said, that I had. This is the project that I have going on in my balcony. So this is essentially just velvet fabric. And you, like I said, fold it in half. You saw how I had them outside. And then you just sort of sew. I'm lucky because my mom has a sewing machine, but yeah, that's basically, you know, what you do. And then you just can add a little sort of bow. This year I'm using pink because last year my colors were blue and white. But this year, I don't know, I'm really into the pink because I saw it in all the fashion weeks in January, which was the last fashion week that I saw in Paris. I live between Miami Beach and Paris. So I was lucky enough to see the last fashion week of Paris, and they use this color a lot, which if you follow trends, they use this color a lot for interior design, but now they used it a lot for fashion this year. So I wanted to add a little bit of fashion to my gift giving gift ideas. And it's very important too that you do a gift wrap that people can use again, because if you think about it, this is something that they can now use to travel and to, you know, put their accessories or things like this. So very, very useful. Another thing that I collect throughout the year that gives me ecological gifts is this paper. You know how this paper comes basically in Amazon boxes or in packaging, in shoes, in all sorts of different packaging, and especially in America, which is where I am right now. So I keep this, and I literally will use this as gift wrapping paper. So that's a big deal for me as far as being ecological and reducing your carbon footprint. You want to use things that are already in the environment. You don't want to go out and buy new wrapping paper. That's just so silly. And then in the back, you see these are actually puzzles that we made, and then we sort of put them on top of our regular paintings in the house. And that sort of gives it like the whole Christmassy vibe. Another thing that I like to do, especially if you have nieces, nephews, kids, that's really fun to do, is to get these sort of little bags. I was doing them earlier, and it's really fun to show kids also about the environment. So I always like to keep these little bags around, and then I let them paint them, put glitter. Obviously, it would take me a really long time to do a whole bag, but I wanted to give you an idea of sort of what I do with my nieces and nephews, where I just sort of like use these bags, and then you can make them your own. And some kids are quite artistic, so it's really beautiful to see what they make. I know some of you are just joining us, so well, cheers. I hope everyone has their glass of champagne ready and you're in your snuggly Christmas pajamas, and we're trying to do a little bit of hiking. So, and I just got my fresh herbs from outside. So let's go. I don't know how I'm going to travel with my champagne, because the champagne is very important. That needs to come with me. Let's travel to make the cranberry sauce. Let's go. Come with me. We're going to get back to my Christmas tree later, but there it is. All right, so I'm going to set you guys up right here. I think this is a good spot where you can see everything. Yeah, you can see my cranberry sauce station. So, so as I was telling you before, cranberry sauce is a very traditional dish, and it's also a very sort of chic dish to bring to a gathering, to a friend gathering, because who doesn't like cranberry sauce or something sweet with their turkey or with their stuffing, or I know in Denmark we have oysters. I would put these on oysters. Excuse me. Let's turn off my phone. Okay, so we're going to start. So it's very, very simple. The cranberry sauce literally takes 10 minutes. And if you go over the 10 minutes, you burst the cranberries and then it's not as fresh. So you want to make sure you're on top of things. So it's very, very simple. You just need 1 cup of water, 1 cup of sugar. Very, very simple. Now, the things that you're going to add on top, that's completely up to you. But let's add the cup of water. I'm going to actually add a little bit more because I think I have more than a cup of cranberries, and I wanted to sort of, boil up a bit. So obviously you're gonna put that on high, and like I said, a cup of sugar. So just, I'm not a big eater of sugar, but sometimes you just need regular sugar to get that tartness out of the cranberries. So feel free to tell me where everyone's joining me from, because I know a small world, everyone's around the world. Yeah. So 1 cup of sugar, so it's quite a lot of sugar, but that's what you need. So you're just gonna let that sort of simmer and boil. I like to use wooden spoons. Speaking of ecological, I swear that these, they are amazing. Have been, I think they might be older than me. They have been in my family for a really, really long time. So when you buy those really good things, you also don't need to buy that much more. You don't need to be buying things all the time. That's the whole point. So that's your base, sugar and water. So simple, right? And then you're gonna arrive with like one of the most delicious dishes there ever was. And that's it. Once it starts boiling, you're just gonna add your cranberries. Now, as far as what you wanna add to your mixture, this can be anything from, I love to add oranges. Mandarins are very in season right now. So I took some mandarins and some lemons. And you can do, of course, the juice of the lemon. That's really important. But what's also more important than the juice is the actual zest. So you can, if you like, which I do like, as I always candy the skins of fruits. I love to do that. I love to make candied fruits all the time, because nothing is waste. We think things are waste. So from the lemon, you can grab the seed and you can actually just put it in a Ziploc bag with some water, and that will sprout into a little stem, and then that you can plant. And that's how I started my garden. So that's, you know, something to think about, that nothing is waste. We have this mentality that when we purchase things, we consume and we toss, but in fact, we can use everything over and over and over. People who know me know that I've had these Christmas pajamas for 15 years. So that's just the type of, you know, of bond that I have with the material thing. I believe that it's almost like a relationship, which I don't know if that sounds strange to anybody out there, but I do feel that way. So, and things, again, when you're trying to create this feeling of home, this feeling of Christmas, especially with such a rough year that we have all had, I think it's like really important to touch base with not only home and people, but, you know, things, and be grateful and not create more waste. But okay, as that's boiling, which it boils very, very fast. It's already doing its thing. And you don't want to add too much water. I know I added a little bit of more water because I had a little bit more cranberries, but if you add too much water, then it becomes very liquidy. So the consistency is really important. So that's it. I'm just gonna drop the cranberries in there ever so gently. And they're cooking. And then in the meantime, you get to decide what ingredients you want to add. So even in sweet dishes, you always want to add a little pinch of salt. I recommend pink salt or Himalayan salt or anything that comes from actual salt and is not processed. Well, that's a whole other live about food. But I put a little bit of salt. I like a little bit of pumpkin spice. So a little bit of pumpkin spice. And then not only the lemon, so we have the lemon, the juice, but I also like to add, like I said, literal chunks of the lemon, and same thing with the orange. So you want to get as much zest in there as possible. And it gives it such a nice smell too. It's really, really delicious. A button, give you guys a smell. Stir that up already. And I'm going to show you how once they burst, so we already have 1 minute in. This is 10 minutes exactly. Then I was told, I don't know if I want to put this in, but I was told that anise was a good one to throw in there. But I personally don't do anise. But like I said, this is very personal, and you can put all the different flavors that you like. I like cinnamon, and I just like to stick a whole real cinnamon stick directly in there. And then you could use this once it's done cooking for the garnish. So just throw it in there. And you're good. Oh, do you hear? They pop. So that's what you're looking for. You're looking for that pop. I'm not even gonna, oh, and the smell, it's so beautiful. Okay, so here's my secret ingredient. With Christmas coming and the Three Kings coming and the traditions around Christmas, and I love the Three Kings, the story of the Three Kings, because they were the wise kings, and they brought this sort of consciousness of creating wisdom with mysticism, and of course Jesus and all these other things that revolve around Christmas. I like to include little things that I've read in the Bible. And one of the things I use is frankincense, which is essentially one of the incense that one of the kings brought to Jesus. So, you know, why not? It's meant to actually, for people who follow holistic natural remedies, frankincense is meant to this is here oil sort of and you just put a little drop in there. I put 2 drops. And then as far as the herbs, the sweet mint we got from outside. Oh, it's very, very fast. They're popping. I'm going to show you guys. As far as the sweet mint, you're going to add 1 little piece now. So it's going to be sort of giving it that sweet mint taste. And then the rest is to garnish for later. So here we go, the little garnish. I have to show you guys how this is brewing. It looks so yummy. So that's how it basically pops. And that's it. That's what it should look like. And then you sort of bring the heat down. You're going to bring the heat down a bit towards the end because they all have already sort of popped and it's coming along. And that's it. That's pretty much it. And then of course you're going to choose, that still has probably another 5 minutes. I'm going to just bring it down. And voila, this is it. This is what the end result looks like. So this is a very sweet, but also tart dessert. Not really a dessert, I'm sorry, that's not really true. It's just that I eat it as dessert until February because it gets you know, left back from Thanksgiving and Christmas. So I literally have cranberry sauce on bread until January 15th, and that's okay. But it is meant to be a side for Christmas. And this is something, as I said, that's so chic and so nice to bring. And it's homemade, and it literally took us 10 minutes. And again, if you add the frankincense, it just gives it a little bit of that mysticism of Christmas. And that's it. We are done with the cranberry sauce. I'm going to move us over to go back more into the gifts, but that was the entire recipe. So it's essentially 1 cup of sugar, 1 cup of water, 1 cup of cranberries, and then you add all the different spices that you like. So let's go to the Christmas tree. So this is my little Christmas tree, everyone. We have a little elf, of course. She's traveled the world. She's been everywhere. She comes with me every year. It's again, to do with Santa Claus has little elves, and then they do all sorts of things for the little children. Did you guys notice how there's snow in Miami? We have snow in Miami. So she's been everywhere. She's been to Saint-Tropez, to Paris. She even went to Nicaragua 1 year. So she's been a little bit all over the place. Oh, I have little. Now I'm a reindeer. So here's another ecological gift idea. First, I'm going to get my champagne. Here is another ecological idea that I have actually been doing for a really long time. And it's a little bit funny, but it's actually really beautiful and has trended now. So before it was everyone looked at me like I was crazy because I used to pack Christmas gifts with bags of oranges in bags of oranges. So that's actually really funny. But now it's starting to become trendy. So now suddenly I'm in vogue, I'm in fashion. So it's okay. So do you see these big bags of rice or potatoes that you already buy? You already buy these, I know you do. So this is one that we did for my niece. So basically, you can try to remove some of the stuff on the top. Sometimes you can't. So you can just play around with it. So we did these, and these are sort of like appliques that you add on. I found another one the other day, so I'm going to work on it, but this is how I basically find them. And then you can either, sometimes if you wash them, some of the stuff will come out. Sometimes you can just add extra appliques, but either way, it's a great idea. It's like a little stocking stuffer. Other ideas that I like to use as gift wrap is, of course, a stocking. So stockings are great because you can, they can reuse them. They can use this over and over again. Another thing that I like to use to upcycle, recycle, reuse, since we are, having cocktails and drinking with our families, we have a lot of corks left over, and we have a lot of sort of wine corks. So, and then there's a lot of dishes that are, hot dishes. And so what I like to do, I'll show you if you can, that's for later. I like to sort of gather them together. And you can just sort of make like a hot plate. It's to, hold your hot plates. So you just, with a glue gun, you just put this together. You can make it as big or as small as you'd like, but it's a great way to sort of, you don't need this, you don't need these corks in your house. You make some use of them. And then when you're done with Christmas and you don't want to have the clutter and you want to live more the minimalist lifestyle, this is something you can toss, so you don't have to make any runs to one of those fast fashion, fast makers. I don't know what they're called, but you don't have to go to any of those places. You can make your own things at home. Here's another little decorative item that I made using old. I found these in the garbage, actually. Well, my family's garbage. So the things that they don't want anymore because they're changing their Christmas color look or tree, I just basically kept all the ornaments, and then I added it to this. My friend made this, so it's like very earthy. So when you want to sort of relax the plastic, I don't buy plastic, but if I find it in the garbage, obviously I will do something with it. So it gives you can always mix the wood with the plastic, and it just gives it a more down-to-earth look. So that is definitely a good one. Then another thing I like to use a lot is sort of leftover boxes. So whatever, like from shampoos or from anything like this, it helps you to make. Thank you. Oh, the cork idea, my mom actually made a whole board one time, and these are great because the corks will actually be very good to put the little pins in. So it's wonderful, it's like a great alternative to plastic, definitely. So I just kind of grabbed little boxes, and with that, I'm able to just use them as Christmas boxes and then do the little trinkets. Another thing I love to actually sit down so I can see you guys. Can everyone hear me okay? Can everyone hear me okay? I hope you can. What was I saying? Oh, yes. Another thing that I love to do during Christmas time is to gift the gift of scent, because scent is meant to be directly correlated with your memory. So if you notice the things that we love about Christmas, or the things that we love about home, or even the things we love about a person, which is essentially their pheromones, that's all smell. So smell is really important, and smell can really bring in that feeling of coziness, of that hug, of being home, of not needing more, of truly being present. All those things come, believe it or not, through our noses. So funny enough, I look like a Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer right now. But yes, so it comes in through your sense of smell. This is where you see lovers always giving perfumes and things like this, because then it brings you back to that person. So one of the things I love to give for the holidays is I like to get little packs of sage, or this is Palo Santo, or things like this that really, or whatever the smell of your home is, of pine. I do like to get little branches of the tree and burn them. That's also a really ecological way. You can also grab some of the bottom branches of your tree and create your wreath. But I do like smell to definitely be very much incorporated into Christmas. So then I just like to get, for little trinkets and things like this, I like to just, give the gift of scent and of purification. And we all know the benefits that sage and Palo Santo and incense and all these beautiful scents of the world bring us a lot of peace. So it's very important. So the next item that I like to gift for Christmas is homemade potions. So I've been doing homemade potions for a really long time. And I always say that I have 100 problems and coconut oil fixes 99 of them. So coconut oil, unrefined, make sure you get it unrefined, is a great base for pretty much all the natural, organic trees. Russian oil and so I like to buy either amber glasses or the blue one, and basically I'll do lots of different mixes, whether it's a cream or it's a spritz. This is everyone's getting one of these this year. This is essentially alcohol, which was really hard to come by this year, but I was able to score some alcohol, some rose water. It has some lavender oil, and what else does it have? I think I put a little bit of frankincense, which is also antibacterial. So it's essentially alcohol, but with a little bit of rose water. I was able to score some organic rose water from Bulgaria, which I was really proud of. I was able to go to Paris. And so I was able to bring some over, and then I'm sort of mixing all the cultures together. So I hope I'm not culturally appropriating anybody, but I don't really believe in that. I think we can all benefit from each other's cultures. But yes, so this is another one I made. So and I put little stickers on them, and little, these are more for the kids, because if you do read the ingredients and research the antibacterials, unfortunately, they're very toxic and they're especially bad for kids. So if you can go ahead and make yourself a little potion at home, that would be great. I'm sure everyone can Google the benefits of coconut water, just of coconut oil. Oh, I also love coconut water, and I especially love it while I'm in Florida because it's local. But the coconut oil needs to be unrefined. Just make sure, that's really important. As a rule of thumb, for the most part, if you are living the ecological green lifestyle, you are reading ingredients and you are aware of what's happening. So you always want to go as simple as possible, as unrefined as possible, whether it's your salt or your herbs or your coconut oil. It really needs to be as sustainable and as clean as possible. We now understand that the stomach is the second brain, so we're starting to know more and more research about that. And speaking of, a glass of champagne is also meant to be full of antioxidants as well. So Cheers. Where's everybody? Thank you for all the comments. Let's see. Let's check the chat and see what's going on. Oh, yeah. The cork idea is fun, right? Yeah, and since we are already drinking that. Aw. Yeah, so I see someone from California. I actually lived in California. It was really fun. I was there for about 7 years, made some movies. It was a blast. So yes, going back to ingredients and ingredient lists, you always want to make sure that things are as natural as possible, because when they do get recycled or upcycled or anything like this, not only does it go in our waters and our soil and our bodies, so just be conscious of that and not create a world full of waste. And then the last little, where's my last one? One second. There it is. And then the last thing I kind of wanted to touch on is like, I'm not going to plug any products, obviously, because we're not going to be doing that today. But it's really important then when you are searching for gifts and you do buy something new, that you can possibly help someone start to create this ecological lifestyle. So one of the things that you can introduce someone to is, for instance, well, can't you? Is a straw, so that they don't continue to use straws. We know already that straws are detrimental to the environment, so that's a very big thing. So I do like, there's so many companies that I love that are doing sustainable items. So that's always something to look out for when you're looking. And they are very inexpensive gifts. So it's not something, they're stocking stuffers. There's things that you can, put in your, in under 20 gifts, I would say. Yeah. So another thing I love is package free products. So package free products are becoming more and more popular, thank goodness. And you see them all over. And I had to show you guys this. This is literally a soap. So this is what companies are doing these days. So there are no excuses. Companies are making an effort. And I always say, when people are so super uber concerned with politics, I always say, well, every time you buy something and every time you spend your hard-earned money, you're voting, you're speaking your voice, you're saying how you want the world to look like. So by supporting all these innovative, great ideas, I mean, this is soap. This is soap. By supporting these companies, you really are making a difference every day by buying these products. So it is important in our everyday lives to turn off lights. I don't own a car, for instance, so it's, oh, what company is that from? Oh, okay. Oh, why not? It's one of my favorites. It's this one, actually, Tree to Tub. So I love it. And so many companies are also coming up with monthly packages where you get just enough of what you need as far as like your cleaning supplies, things like this. Even the cleaning supplies that you use is that's very crucial, because you're breathing that and you're constantly, wiping the counter. And now we became germaphobes with 2020. So it's really important to also think about your cleaning products, your hair products, toothbrushes, they go to waste. So you can get toothbrushes made out of yogurt cups. In America, we have this supermarket called Whole Foods. They're pretty good about having those innovative products. France is great. France is, to me, one of the most ecological countries in the world, as far as I don't have an elevator in my house. So exactly, Tree to Tub. Awesome, thank you. So yeah, it's a great company that has all sorts of products that you can see that are so cool. There's another company that I really love that I see a lot. I'll show you guys. It's this Seedlings by the Grove. They have like a monthly subscription thing. I really like that stuff. Myers, of course, is great. Super amazing scents like grapefruit. We don't realize that all these fruits, I use, for instance, when I cut my lemon in half, I squeeze it to have it in the morning, of course, and we just used it for the cranberry sauce. But then the lemon itself is you can use it as a sponge. You know how your sponges get very dirty and sort of grody and gross. I always, especially if I've cooked something that's, you know, a bit smellier, or I don't want to get the sponge dirty, you can just use a lemon or grapefruit, and it smells delicious. Also, a lemon could be used to disinfect your hands. And I mean, every fruit, every vegetable has so many benefits. And I think if we take a look at what the, you know, what these fruits and vegetables actually do after they've been consumed by the human body, you'd be surprised by how amazing the earth is and how beautiful Mother Nature is, that she provided every little thing that we need. We don't need more. We don't need to create more. So on that note, oh, don't forget that today is the day that the planets have not been aligned in this way for 800 years, so since the Middle Ages, essentially. And today is a day of manifestation. So as a little token of what we're doing today, I don't know if you want to call it a wish, a manifestation, a declaration, a prayer. I'm putting my foot down, and this is the life I want to live this year. However you want to see it, today is a really special day, because today is the day that portals open differently. Your mind is opened differently. We are literally going, without getting too mystical, we are literally going from the third dimension, which is basically the world we see, into, oh yeah, I'll get back to that. So it's taking us from the fourth dimension into the fifth dimension. So we live in the third, which is time and this illusion. And then the fifth dimension is a place of love. Without going into it too much, we are lifting ourselves, all of us, together in consciousness. So it's a really amazing and beautiful day today. And I hope that this is only the beginning of opening up your mind to sustainable living and green. And I wanted to address something that somebody said, that the monthly subscriptions. No, I didn't encourage monthly subscriptions or anything like this. It's just, I said that sometimes these monthly subscriptions just have enough. Maybe perhaps in your case, you ordered too much, or I'm not sure, but I like them. They send just enough, and it doesn't seem excessive to me. They're actually very accurate about what we use as a family. And I also love that they introduced me to package-free products and things like this. But you know, we're all learning, of course. So yes, we have seen a lot of times that organic foods have a lot of packaging, and just, you know, products in general that come with it's called greenwashing, that are not necessarily green, but they're just kind of using the marketing behind it. So yeah, we have to be conscious and aware. And it's a good point you brought up. Sometimes these monthly things will have more packaging, or if you're ordering stuff online a lot that's green, but then you have thousands of boxes coming each day, then yeah, it's kind of a dichotomy. You're right. So, but yeah, in general, I like to sort of be on top of the products that are innovative and coming up. But since we are going to manifest together, and I always believe that when there is more than three people collectively together thinking and energetically wanting the same things, that we can achieve them. So here's my little cheesy way of manifesting with you guys. Are you ready? I'm going to have a little, hey, a little sparkler. So I wish everyone a beautiful Merry Christmas, Ching, and lots of prosperity this year. May your minds be open to beautiful things, to new ideas, to creativity, to an enlightened soul, to opening up our hearts, our minds to our fellow man, to becoming a global world, to understanding we're all a human family. There's no difference. There are no borders. There's no time. It's all an illusion. And we're all in this together. And if some of us are well and others are not, then we're not well. And that we need to rise up together. So that's my little cheers for you guys today. Does anybody have any questions? It says you should connect with Positive Luxury if you ever launch a product. So, oh yeah, so it seems like I should be launching products, right? Thank you. I will look into that. I always love to explore new avenues as far as people who are doing sustainable things. So I haven't owned a car in about 5 years. So I'm really proud of that. And I don't only talk the talk, I walk the walk. I take the metros, even in Miami. Yeah, I try to anyway, and we're all trying to. We're not perfect, and I feel like a lot of times when people are doing this conscious green living, we can come off as like, oh, we're better, and therefore you're not doing your part. But it isn't like that at all. As a person who's been a raw foodie for about 10 years, it takes a long time to transition. It takes a long time to transition into, reducing your carbon footprint and your meat intake and all those things. And sometimes you regress, and sometimes you go back to eating a burger, and that's okay. And you have to also see how that makes you feel. How did that eating that burger make you feel? And life's a journey, and it's not about someone pushing some sort of lifestyle down your throat. It's more about we're all learning from each other, right? So today we learned a little, for those of you who came in late, the cranberry cocktail was essentially a raw cranberry, and then you just burst it. So it gives it not only a little bit of color, but it also a bit of tardiness. I know that I said before that I did a few things with Moët Chandon and Veuve Clicquot, and they actually encouraged for you to put certain fruits and even cucumber in it to bring out the different notes and flavors in the champagne. So I always like to add a little something to my sparkly to sort of counteract the flavors. So yeah, so cheers. And then, oh yeah, I had one more little adventure for you guys. I had forgotten another thing to do with the cranberry sauce. Are you ready with the cranberries? So as you can see, I have loads of boxes and things that sort of I keep every year. And this is one that I do every year. So I bring the cranberry sauce, but I also bring the centerpieces. I bring a few centerpieces, even if they already have them. But I mean, when you do give flowers, by the way, some advice that my mom gave me, if you do ever bring flowers to a party, never bring flowers that are not arranged. The host has to stop everything and get water and get a vase and like do all that. Never do that to a host when she's hosting. If you do ever want to bring flowers or any sort of arrangements or centerpieces, you either send them in advance, or when you arrive, you have it already ready as a little added bonus. I'm obviously going to my family's party, so we have a very rigid military style routine of who's bringing what. So, and since I'm not a very big cook, I love to do little things that make everyone feel special, and also the smell. The smell is very important. So here is my little arrangement. So this literally, I keep these like for every year. I'm not sure if you're supposed to, but I don't know. So this comes a bit big. I've already cut it. So you just kind of stick this in the middle. And then as a decoration, so you don't see that ugly green thing, what you are going to do is that you're going to add the cranberries. So you see the cranberries also have all sorts of, and it adds a little bit of red. And then, of course, you add the water, and then I'm going to take some of the flowers from our tree. I'm not sure if it's a European thing to add flowers to trees, but we do it. Roses to trees. Mostly you want to make them fresh, but sometimes to sustain them, you can get a few, not real ones, but we have kept them for about 10 years. I feel like a lot of these things I'm showing you today may be older than I am. But then you just finish off with the flowers on the top, as you see. And then, so then you just continue, and you're going to make a beautiful, I'm going to keep stealing the flowers from the tree. I should have gone and gotten new flowers. So that's essentially it. And then you can do different colors or a theme. So you can, I wouldn't get red. I love to do white or this year, like I said, my theme is the rose, the millennial pink. That has been, well, no, the millennial pink is a bit brighter. The rose pink, I love it. And I would even try to, let's see, I might, and it adds, and of course this is velvet, so it adds a little bit of something to it. And then you can put a bow, or you can just, I use a hot glue gun for everything. I literally hot glue everything, even the gingerbread house, because when I was younger, we used to try to do it with the frosting, and frosting, it doesn't, so glue gun everything, make it secure, make sure that it's everything is nice and tight for Christmas, because otherwise you have a lot of sticky fingers getting there, getting into everything. So, okay, I hope I gave you guys a few ideas of what you can start doing to be more eco-friendly and stop conspicuous consumption, and possibly take a step back and enjoy where you are in your life, where you are at this moment. Even if it was complicated for all of us. But just really appreciate what you, this moment only. I think the Dalai Lama says it best. He says that if you are living in the past, you are depressed. And if you are living in the future, you will have anxiety. So the only way to really truly seek happiness is to be present and to be ourselves, and to hold ourselves accountable for our actions, and not live in this victim consciousness where we believe exterior things are what's going to make us happy, because it doesn't. The things that make us happy is, you know, just being here with you guys right now, the fact that I feel like I'm sharing little tips that could possibly make a difference, even if you just go out and buy you know, a straw, or if this year you don't buy wrapping paper, and you look at that Amazon box that has all that fluff in it, and you look at it different and you have a different perspective on it. Or if you decide to create a small little side dish to come see your friends or your family, or even if you're home alone, it doesn't matter. That's what played out this year. That's not relevant. What's relevant is that we are at peace. We are aware of that this is all an illusion, and in fact the idea of life is just uplifting each other and uplifting our consciousness and coming together and realizing there are no differences between us. And I feel like little by little this year has, I call it the year of 2020, the year of clear eyesight, because 2020 really made us see things very differently. And I feel not so crazy anymore that everyone's following this movement. I picked this up in California, living in Santa Monica about 10 years ago, and it sort of stuck with me. And they say you should leave California before it makes you too soft, but it made me just soft enough. So I really appreciate my time there, and sharing this information with all of you. And I hope to connect with everybody on A Small World. And I'm a new member, so it'd be fun to engage with the community as we go along. I wish everyone a happy holidays, happy Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, whatever it is you celebrate. I wish you a beautiful, beautiful 2021. And I know that it's going to be a great year for all of us, because we are becoming enlightened. And I do believe that that's going to uplift us all. Big kiss, everyone. Bisous. Oh, my Instagram is Christianne Online. I started a new account. So at Christianne Online. You can also see it on the on my A Small World page. You can see my Facebook and my Instagram, and also my website. So I have been doing these virtual lives since March, and it's been a lot of fun to engage with people. I'm actually also a ballet dancer, as an actress, and I do copywriting and editing. So it's been a really fun journey to have these virtuals. I'm actually coming up on my 100th one, so it's a lot of fun, and I love engaging with you all. So Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa. May the universe and bring you everything that you deserve, and may Santa Claus bring you all the joy, because that's all we need is joy. We don't need things. We just need inner happiness and inner peace. Thank you. Aw, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Thank you. Aw, this was so nice. Anytime anyone wants to go ahead and private message me, I'm around. I love to meet new people and engage. And like I said, we all learn from each other. So I'm sure I have lots to learn from you all as well. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. Oh, thank you for the messages. Thank you guys so much. It was so nice. And I'm going to continue my day with my, I have a whole bottle of champagne now. So I will drink it for all of you guys. And I know that that's going to bring us all good energy. I really like it with the cranberry. Yes, A Small World has my profile. So I think attached to the whole invite, all my information is in there, but I will, my Instagram is at Christianne Online. And my Facebook is Christianne Christiensen. So unfortunately or fortunately, my last name gives it away that I'm half Viking. So yes, so I'm on Facebook, I'm on Instagram, I'm even on TikTok. I started to do a few TikToks and they're really fun. They're 60 seconds of information and they're very, very fun. So I will see you guys around. Thank you. Bisous.